Hello homemakers! Today is a very special episode because we have hit 50 cards from the recipe card library. So I thought it would be fun to kind of take a walk down memory lane and review all 50 cards that we've done so far and maybe, rank them in some way. Like, what were the top hits? What were the biggest misses? Who's the biggest flop? Originally, I thought I would literally pull all the cards out and put them on the table and we shuffle them around. And then I thought, this is a modern show and I have technology. And the kids these days on the internet are doing these things called tier lists. And so I'm gonna do a tier list of all 50 recipes we've cooked so far on the channel. So let's get started. All right, so on my tier list, I have 5 different tiers. The bottom one is the worst tier, and it's called trash. And those are things that I put in the trash after I was done cooking them. They were so gross. Above trash, we have blah. Blah just means it was an okay recipe, didn't really taste that great, kind of blah. Then in the middle tier, we have fine. These are recipes that I thought were decent, okay, was willing to eat them, but really nothing to write home about. Above fine, we have tasty. These are ones that I liked, I enjoyed. Maybe I'd make them again. And then finally, the top tier, we have iconic. And these are just the most incredible recipes. Top classic Betty Crocker, couldn't get any better. Really show-stopping pieces. That's what we're gonna put in the iconic rank today. And we're gonna go in the order that I made them. So starting off with my first episode, which was tangy tomato aspic. I was really nervous that it was gonna taste bad, but I actually didn't hate it. I kind of liked the shrimp salad that we put in the middle. I don't want to say it was tasty though, I wouldn't eat it again, so I'm putting it under fine. Next up, we did orange baked Alaskas. I feel like because this was my second episode, I didn't really realize how incredible of an idea this is. We literally hollowed out an orange, put sherbet in it, and put it in the oven, and the sherbet didn't melt, and the meringue on top got toasted, and it was really cute and incredible. I was just so overwhelmed with the concept of filming myself that I didn't really take the time I needed to enjoy the orange baked Alaska the way I should have. And so I definitely am gonna put that under tasty. That was a really fun recipe. Next up was fondue loha. This was the pineapple that you hollowed out and put a chicken salad in it, but the chicken salad had bananas in it, and that was really freaky to me, and I didn't like it. And if I'm gonna be honest with y'all, I threw the rest in the trash. So sorry, it's going in trash. Cute presentation, but just very weird flavor combination, in my opinion. I know it's not that different from other types of chicken salad. People put grapes and apples in chicken salad, I get that, but the banana, okay? And then next up, we did tuna ring with cheese sauce. This is kind of a slay. I kind of want to call it iconic. Yeah, I'm gonna put it under iconic. This is just very Betty Crocker to you take, I believe we use Bisquick. You make a dough with it. You put tuna in the dough and you twist it and you bake it, and then in the center you put a cup of cheese and it becomes this thing that you pull the chunk of bread and you dip it in the cheese. I mean, the innovation there is just so beautiful. Next up, we did rainbow sherbet roll. And this was kind of blah. It didn't really work out that well. Might have been user error, but I definitely had trouble rolling it up. The cake cracked. Wasn't sure how to eat it. The sherbet didn't spread well. I just a lot of things went wrong with it. And then at the end of the day, it just kind of tasted like cake and ice cream. The next one, which is absolutely iconic, is the Party Sandwich Loaf. This is my most viewed episode on my channel so far, and I can see why. This is a showstopper. That concept of you basically making a savory cake where the layers of cake are sandwich fillings, and then you frost the cake and you decorate it with savory ingredients. It's just it's inspired. The next one is cranberry puffs. It's kind of forgettable if we're being honest. It was okay. I guess I'll just put it under fine. A fun concept to make kind of individual upside down cake style treats. The next one, an absolute slay. Giant burger going to the top of iconic, because you're making a giant burger. Sure, that's already so cool. And then you're filling the giant burger with, I believe it was cream cheese and mustard and horseradish. So it's the toppings of the burger inside the burger, it was just incredible. The way you put ketchup on top, it's innovation. It's innovation. Next up, grasshopper pie. This was fine. You know, it was a good pie. Someone told me in the comments that I shouldn't have. I put it in the freezer, and I guess it just said chill until firm, not freeze until firm. I guess it really just needed to go in the fridge, but I put it in the freezer. So maybe one day I'll make it again and follow the instructions, and maybe it'll taste better. But yeah, it was just fine. Having flashbacks to this one. Crusty Salmon Shortcakes are going straight into the trash. You know, sometimes I make something and it doesn't taste very good, but I like put it in Tupperware and I put it away in the fridge and I'm like, maybe I'll finish that later, and then I never do. I throw it away a couple days later. But this one, immediately as soon as I turned the camera off, I chucked it in the trash. It was so gross. It was just like so bland, so weird. The biscuit wasn't even that good. I just like, ugh, Crusty Salmon Shortcakes, no. And the next one up was banana spice cookies. These were pretty tasty, I'd say. They were kind of like a cakey cookie, almost tasted like banana bread. Yeah, I like them. They were good. They were good. Okay, here's one that kind of shocked me by how edible it was. It was bologna biscuits in vegetables, or with vegetables. I don't remember. I'm gonna put it under tasty. It was kind of, I think, eye-opening for me to use bologna as a meat in a casserole. Like, to me, that's lunch meat, and it's not supposed to be like cooked and put in a casserole with tomato sauce and vegetables, but it actually like turned out really good. I loved the idea that you both have the bologna in the like casserole vegetable part, but then you put little mini chunks of bologna in the biscuits. Bologna biscuits. Next up is a recipe card that I only made on my Instagram, which, by the way, if you're not following me on Instagram, you should be, because we post exclusive Instagram content there. This was the chocolate curl cake, and I made this for my birthday a couple of years ago. Things didn't go well. It was still a delicious cake, but I think I made the like chocolate drizzle way too thin, and it just kind of like fell off the sides. It didn't even like, none of it stayed on the cake. And making the curls was kind of hard, but other than that, it was fine. Like, it tasted like chocolate cake, which I can't complain about. The next one was banana bobs. These were the frozen bananas. The ones covered in chocolate were incredible. The ones that I tried to make following the pastel bobs recipe using powdered frosting mix did not go over well. The recipe instructions were also really confusing. I wasn't sure if I was supposed to freeze the bananas or just chill the bananas. You can go back and watch if you want to know why it got so confusing, but I'm gonna put those in blah because of it. Then I had my first Smackdown. A Smackdown is where I'll do 2 recipe cards, put them back to back, and compare side by side which one is better. So I did cheeseburger pie versus hamburger pie. And hands down, cheeseburger pie won. It was so good. I would definitely make that again. So I'm putting it under tasty. I feel like it can't go under iconic, but it can go under tasty. The hamburger pie, unfortunately, you used like instant mashed potatoes, and the burger wasn't very well seasoned. I'm gonna put it under blah. The next episode was Rocky Road desserts. I made 3 Rocky Road themed desserts, and they were all pretty tasty. I ate a lot of pudding that day, and I felt very ill afterwards because I am lactose intolerant, and I feel like I don't talk about that enough on this channel, but I put myself through it for that card. It was a lot. Next, we made hot dog cheesies, which was from this children's section. A children's recipe is pretty easy to make, but the taste was kind of bland to me. I'm really not a fan of American cheese, and when a recipe is basically just bread, hot dog, and American cheese, you're gonna taste the American cheese. So I'm putting that under blah. Okay, next, another Instagram exclusive. I made a strawberry shortcake, and it was like a giant strawberry shortcake. Like, the shortcake was like the size of a cake, like a pie, and then you cut it open, you put strawberries in it, and you put whipped cream in it. It was incredible. It was so good. I love strawberry shortcake. Strawberry season is my favorite time of year. I might put that under iconic. It was iconic. And next we did the cucumber cool salads. This one was kind of a flop. The green onion in the salad was just very overpowering. The lime jello was very artificial tasting. The card looks incredible. I love the color, but I'm gonna have to put it under blah. Next, I did what I believe I called a fruit and veggie mania. I kind of bit off a little bit more than I could chew on that episode. I picked out 4 cards to make. One was like a way to cut up vegetables for like crudité. The other one was 2 cards on how to cut up fruit for like a beautiful fruit tray. And then I had a card from the calorie counter section on like healthy dips for fruit and vegetables. The dips were really gross, like trash, garbage, goodbye. And the other ones were just kind of like, I guess these are fine. Like, I guess I could cut up my fruit like this. I don't really need to. The next thing I made was the cheese appetizer wheel. This was fun. I don't really get it. I still don't know what we did. But we made this like, it kind of tasted like a Cheez-It. We made a giant cracker and we filled it with cheese, and then there's paprika on top, and you had to do this really intricate cutting with the like a pastry thing. It was like, it was a lot, but it turned out really cool, and so I think that should go on iconic. Then the next card was lemon meringue chiffon. This one was kind of disappointing to me. It was a lot of work because I made chiffon cake from scratch, then I made the meringue, then you have to like frost the cake, and then you have to put it in the oven and toast the meringue. It was just so much effort. And at the end of the day, I was like convinced that chiffon cake was gonna blow my mind and be so much better than regular cake. It's kind of the same. So I'm gonna put it under blah. I mean, it still tasted good. I'll put it under fine. Ooh, next up was cold meat morsels. I love these, they're iconic. It's just so fun. You did like layers of salami with layers of cream cheese, and then you cut them into these like very beautiful wedges. This card just feels like so mid-century to me. I don't know, something about it just like looks beautiful. It was really fun. I love cold meat morsels, what can I say? This is another Instagram only card. It's fresh peach pie. I thought it was pretty good. I will say that I used the Betty Crocker boxed pie crust mix and it didn't go well. I might put that under blah. Next was Black Cat cupcakes. We made this last Halloween. They were fine. It was a cupcake and you put licorice on it. So for Thanksgiving, I made cranberry creations. This card had a cran angel cake on it, and this was where my love affair with angel food cake began. Combination of textures when you have angel food cake with whipped cream. I thought the cranberry jam really added a nice nuance to it. It looked beautiful. It held up well. It was iconic. It was iconic all around. And then for Thanksgiving, I also made the, what are these even called? It was called turkey and stuffing shells. And that was good. It was kind of like all of the flavors of Thanksgiving in a single little mini casserole dish, individually portioned. I thought it was fun. I thought it was tasty. I liked it. Oh, here's another iconic one, party cheese ball. This was just really fun. Really fun idea for Christmas to decorate a cheese ball. Have it out on the table with crackers. It's fun for people to eat. It turned out really cute. I liked it. The candy cane cookies I made for Christmas were a little disappointing. They just weren't very flavorful. They looked cute, but like, I don't know, I might put them under blah. It's an iconic type of cookie, but it just left a little to be desired, in my opinion. Then I had another Smackdown. This one was the coffee cake Smackdown. I picked out 2 coffee cake recipes to try side by side. There was coffee cake exceptional and oven warm coffee cakes, I think they were called. And I did like those better. The oven warm ones I'm gonna call tasty because they were like kind of a fun spin on the coffee cake. They had chocolate, they had coconut. The coffee cake exceptional was also good. It's, you know, pretty classic standard coffee cake. I'm putting it under fine. Next up is one that really haunts me to this day, and that is curried fish in rice ring. This, I bought a really nice cut of fish and just absolutely destroyed it and made a very bland, gross meal out of it. So I regret that. I was really excited about the assembly of the rice ring, and it fell apart. Pretty much immediately after I made the rice ring, it cracked and like curried fish was just flowing through the gap. And at the end of the day, it was just kind of weird. It was just kind of weird. So I'm gonna put that under blah. Then for Valentine's Day, we did cherry berries on a cloud. These were tasty. I'm putting them under tasty. It was fun to make kind of a pavlova inspired dish where we made the meringue shell and we filled it with whipped cream and we filled it with cherries. But then the next thing I made, I love. This was called ham snacks. It was a few different ways to make little hors d'oeuvres with deviled ham. So there was like these ham logs that you would like spread on crackers, and then there was these deviled puffs where you could like fill a cream puff thing with deviled ham mixture. I had some issues making the cream puffs, but we figured it out. We made it through, and it turned out that I love deviled ham. So it was fun to discover a new type of food that I'd never tried before and find out that I like it. So I'm putting it under iconic. For St. Patrick's Day, we made Lime Ribbon Delight. This was actually kind of fun. I like the idea of putting Jello on a cake, and the way it was just like a little ribbon of Jello was really nice. So I put that under tasty for sure. Next were oven porcupines. These did not go well because I didn't read the recipe right, but there was a lot of nostalgia in it for me. It tasted very similar to a cabbage roll, which my family makes all the time, and I really liked it, and I feel like I would make it again. So I'm putting it under tasty. The next recipe was easy pedophores. This was not easy. Cutting cake into tiny shapes and frosting them and decorating them was a challenge. It was still a lot of work for what constituted a very sugary bite of cake, so I'm putting it under blah. Okay, sombrero pie was basically kind of a Southwest inspired chili casserole that you put a cornbread crust on top of. I kind of messed up the cornbread crust, I'm gonna be real with you. I wish it would have gone on smoother, but it still tasted really good. And this is the one time where I ate the entire casserole over the course of the next like 4 days. So I'm definitely putting that under tasty. Next was the ladybug cake from the Arty Party card. That's going straight up to iconic. It was so cute. It was so cute. I used the Betty Crocker bacon full pan set, which left a little bit to be desired, but I liked that it was able to give me the perfect dome that I needed to make the ladybug, and then the ladybug was so cute. It was just the cutest thing I've ever made. I still think about it sometimes. He was so cute. It almost felt bad like cutting a slice of cake out of it, because I was like, this is a living creature now and I can't harm him. So absolutely, he's going into iconic. Also going up to iconic are Bambinos. These were the little pizza snacks. They were so flavorful and so delicious, really easy to make, something that I feel like I could whip up with mostly things you have in the house. Yeah, definitely love the concept of Bambinos. Mini pizza snacks. After that, I made strawberry pies. There were 2 pies on this card. One was like a coconut cream pie, and the other was a strawberry jello pie. They were both fine. I don't know if I'd make either of them again. Came together easy, but it was just like, they didn't taste that great. I don't know. They were fine. They were good. Ooh, here's something that I think might qualify as iconic, and that is the Jiffy Shrimp and Patty Shell. I'm not saying this was the best thing I've ever made, but I was pleasantly surprised because I didn't think that shrimp in a tomato sauce was gonna taste good, and it did. And I love the idea of the patty shell. I had never heard of a patty shell before this card, but the idea of like you making a puff pastry container that you like eat the container as you eat the filling, and it looks really cool and presentable, and that feels very mid-century to me, that there's like this beautiful package and then you like slowly eat the thing out of the package. I don't know, I loved it. It was really fun. Then we made summer coolers, which were essentially root beer floats. They were fine. I probably wouldn't make any of those again. After that, we made the raspberry ring with creamy fruit. The creamy fruit was giving me ambrosia vibes, the way it had like marshmallows and things in them, but the recipe called for sour cream and it made it so tart in a way that was off-putting. If I made it with yogurt, I would have eaten the whole thing. Put it under fine as a result. Swedish tea ring was the next card, and that was absolutely incredible. It's basically a cinnamon raisin bread that you do that Betty Crocker magic that she does, where you cut the thing up and you twist the thing and you make a ring out of it, and it just makes it look really presentable, whereas like a normal loaf of bread would look kind of boring. It was so good. It was perfect. Putting it under iconic. And then finally, the most recent episode was the Angel Food Waldorf. I made this angel food cake that had a chocolate whipped cream filling and a chocolate whipped cream frosting and almonds, and it was really good. Just very classic Betty Crocker, this way that you like pull angel food out of the center and then like fill it with frosting. I don't know why we did that, but it looked cool at the end, so I'm glad we did. And that's going under iconic too, obviously. So these are my rankings. Everything was decent. Nothing was super terrible. I've only thrown out 3 things out of 50, so that's pretty good. When you see them all lined up like this, it doesn't feel like I've made that many, but I feel like we've accomplished a lot here on the channel. All right, that's the first 50. We have a long way to go, but it's about the journey, right? It's not about the destination. Make sure to comment below, let me know which of these first 50 was your favorite recipe to watch. Which should I do next? You know, like if you have anything you want me to try, let me know. I'm sure there's a card for it. If you're not subscribed already, please subscribe. We have a lot of fun things coming up. The holiday season's approaching, and that's Betty Crocker's time to shine. I'm doing other stuff on the channel now too, besides just the cards, so you never know what's coming up next. So be sure to stay tuned. Happy homemaking!